Hello again. It's Hawaida. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to speak about trauma. I've done previously a video about my journey through FGM. So today I'll be talking about the trauma that I have gone through. Even as a child. When they undergone the FGM at 7 years old, not knowing what is that experience is going to cost me. When I had my FGM at 7, at that time all I can think is the pain. The pain, and how can I get rid of that pain? Over the years, without me knowing, and bear in mind, when a woman, some people may say this is a cultural thing. And let me tell you something. There is nothing called a cultural thing when it comes to the FGM at all. It's not a religious thing. And a lot of people, they associate FGM with culture. But who created that culture? A human being. A human being who decided to do this, and everyone else decided, oh, let's do it too. The shame, the fact that my parents, decided to do it and also celebrated it. It was, it told me there is a lack of um, awareness. Like, my parents wasn't educated. Where they come from, a small village. And in that small village, the girls being, traumatized by getting the FGM. At least I had mine done in a closed room. It's only maybe few, as much as it's like humiliating and embarrassing. But in these villages, the girls, the FGM, they perform that procedure in front of the whole village. Imagine the whole village is standing, and they surrounded the girl, and that procedure being done on her. Education is very, very important. The fact that they don't know why FGM is being created. They think it's purity. They think it's for the girl to protect herself. And for the man, when she get married later on. I remember when I started getting my period pain, and I couldn't bear it anymore. I went to the clinic, and the clinic decided that not to do anything. They didn't even ask me about it. They didn't do any checkup. And that's when I started to wonder. That's when I started to say, is it what they have done on me? Is it something bad? And I remember the teacher in high school, God bless her. We was talking normal. We was talking absolutely normal. And then during our conversation, I brought the FGM. And she looked at me like somebody have done a really bad things on me. She was so shocked. And she hugged me, and she literally started apologizing. I am so sorry, Hawida, that it's really this has been done on you. And at this point, I have no clue of what she's really talking about. My teacher, because she was educated on the matter, she went and spoke to other teachers, and they decided to bring a survivor. She was an activist. And as I remember this for a really long time, I never forget this. The survivor came. She told me her story. And all this time, I wasn't process what is going on. And at that time, my English language wasn't that strong, wasn't that good. And I was like trying to understand what she's saying. And she started talking to me about the FGM, describing what FGM is and how this practice is really harmful to the girl, and what I have been, gone through is really bad, basically. When she told me how she have run away from her home because her family decided to lock her up so they can go and grab that lady to perform the procedure on her. And she was aware that what is going to happen is really bad because she saw so many young girls die in front of her. So she decided to do whatever it takes to break out of her home and run away from her parents. And she left from one state to another until she get, in UK. And her parents decided to disown her. And I was sat there. I was fascinated about what she's actually saying. And I was thinking, what in the world? Because in my culture, this was normalized. I wasn't like, I didn't have the knowledge to not only knowing that I am going through trauma, but what I have gone through is very, it's not only harmful practice, but something that it shouldn't have happened. Because my trauma started when, as I mentioned previously in my previous video, that it started when I was 10 years old. So I had the FGM by 7. And when I get 10 years old, that's when it started really hit me bad. And knowingly that I start going through a deep depression. And I didn't know what I was going through was trauma and deep depression until I start research about it a couple of years ago. I hated myself. I hated my body. When I go and take a shower or bathe, I just don't look at myself. And I avoided looking in the mirror for such a long time because I knew when I look in the mirror, I don't like the person that in the mirror. I hated that person. As much as really hating is a big word, But I hated that person that in front of the mirror, and I avoided for so many years of my life. I started isolating myself. I started disconnect my, like, not only from people but from myself, running away. I start hating myself as an like identity as a girl. I started to playing with boys, started to playing football outside, and when I get like a dolls and all that to play with, I remember I threw it away. And I kept saying, I don't want to be I don't want to be a girl anymore. If that the life that the girl will live, I said I don't want it. I truly don't want it. So from there, the pain start. I feel so much pain. I start isolating myself. I start not talking to anybody. I started thinking about that moment. It's like a movie. It's like when you watching a movie, when you play, it's like a playing in your head 24/7. And clear movie. The image in my head was so clear. Every day when I closed my eyes, I just see that moment when I had the FGM procedure have done on me. When when I sit on the bus, school bus, I kept thinking about it. When it became unbearable, it became unbearable to the point that I decided I can't take it anymore. One day, I decided around like, I remember around like 4 p.m., I decided that the only thing that I can take or I can do to ease the pain is to hurt myself. As a as a child, as a like a young child, that's what is really in my head at that time. And I kept thinking, if I hurt myself, that is going to ease the pain that what I was going through, what I was feeling at that time. So I brought a glass. It's like was a water on the glass, so I threw the water, and I broke that glass, and I literally, and it's still today the scars in my leg. I healed the glass, okay, that part of a glass, and I start cutting my leg. It was a huge cut. It was a huge cut, and thank God it wasn't deep yet. It was so I start cutting, and all that I did not feel no pain. All I can see is just blood running out of my leg. It's just blood coming out of my body. Zero the feelings. I felt like my body is numbed. My brain is running like a cycle, thinking about what had happened. It was too much for me at the time as a child. So I remember I got rushed to the hospital, and I got stitched, and during all that I haven't felt no pain at all. No pain. The doctor was stitching me without anesthesia, without nothing, painkillers, and I didn't do nothing. I looked at the doctors like in my head, like, it's normal. I went through it before. What is gonna happen again? And because my body's numb. There is no feeling at all. After the doctor stitched me and all that, and then gone back home, I cried. not from the pain, the wound, from the pain that inside me, because I can still feeling the pain. I can still seeing the image in my head. I can still thinking about what happened that day. I remember then when I turned like 12 or something, um, and during all that, by the way, I lost my self-esteem. I lost the connection with myself, the connection with my family, with people around me, neighbors, everyone, even my childhood friends, and I just disconnected. All I can think about is I'm not loved. I'm not loved because if I am loved, I wouldn't go through that. Because that is not love. That is not love. That's when I thought, all like my thought was, it's not love. It's just not love. Like, if you love somebody, why you would do that? So I distanced myself from my family, from everyone around me, and from myself. The pain that was inside me, it just kept growing, growing, and growing. And the image is just, I had to, I had to divert my attention, my brain. And very much, I try my best to not think about that moment. But yet, as soon as I shut my eyes, like when I go to sleep, I just see it. It's like a movie. It's like a movie. And nobody in my school back home talk about it because it was the normal thing to for anyone to go through, for any girl. In fact, if the girl didn't had that procedure done, nobody will come close to her. Nobody will play with her. Nobody will even talk to her. And she will deem as like a shameful in the community. So I started just focusing on my study. I started to just think about me just wanted to get a good grade. That's all. I just don't want to be in contact with anybody. Just focus on my education. But yet the pain inside me is still there. Because when you go through FGM, you don't only lose the connection with yourself, you lose the trust with the people around you, you lose the self-confidence, you lose the self-esteem, the self-love for yourself. You feel like you are completely someone else. Completely someone else. So when I came to UK, and I remember after I had that conversation with my teacher and with the activist, my teacher was like telling me like, are you all right? Are you okay? And I remember the activist told me there is a private clinics that you can go and get this undone, because every month, if I used to worry every month when my period come, every single month, because of the pain that is gonna associate, because of the sleepless nights. I could not sleep in the night because of the pain. So all I used to do is take painkillers, and I didn't know how, like, over the years, I learned to deal with the pain that inside me in my heart. But the pain, physical pain, I just couldn't. I remember those days I was like, I really threw myself on the floor and cry out of pain. Sometimes my father come and ask me like, what happened? Are you all right? Or do you want me to take you to ER, hospital, emergency? I was like, I can't even answer because of the pain. They end up giving me like just painkillers as usual. And after a while, couple of hours, then I start feeling okay. But then again, like the 5 days or 6 days, whatever how long is it was the longest and the painful days that I live every month. So as a girl, and it's still in my head. It's still thinking about what happened. I still think about what the changes that happen, and all I can think about, it came time that all I can think about is I don't want to live anymore. That's all it was in my head at the time because of the depression. And I didn't know at that time I was in a deep depression. So I remember after the conversation, I came and I talked to my mom and I said to ask her, like, why have you done this to me? Why? What's the reason behind it? And she said, yeah, it's because of culture. It's because we don't want people to say, that you are not had the procedure done, and, we don't want people to say it's shameful. So it's basically everything that I have been listening over the years, that I have to protect myself from my future husband. I have to be good girl. I don't have to be around men. And even if it's that man or like my cousins or younger one or something like that, I have to be good girl. And I have followed that rules for so many years, behaving like a good girl, but yet they don't know what I was going through in my head. Well, it was a lot going on in my head. As a survivor, there is a lot that you can go through. A lot. Sometimes you just you cry without no reason. And that's when it came period of my life that I become sensitive and I start just crying for no reason. Just crying. And bullying, that's a different thing. That's a different story. It is so hard as a survivor that you can't even, who you talk to. That's the thing. Who you talk to. If your family that is supposed to protect you, they hurt you. If when you try to open a conversation, they shut you down. They think that it's normal. They think it's fine. Everything is being done. It's gone. You're supposed to live with it. When my mom gave me that answer, I become so stubborn and I got so angry. And did I resent my parents? Yes, I did. It came time that I had so much resentful, but I had to let go of that. because I came to learn, and I'm not making excuse, because if they have known better, they could have done better, and they didn't, because they wasn't aware of the topic. They wasn't aware of what that procedure have done to me, to the point that I almost lost my womb, and I had to go undergo an emergency surgery in 2020 that took almost 7 hours. So for a survivor, for someone who's truly are in pain, seek support. And I'm telling you right now, because I remember the therapy, seeking help, or go to therapy or go to a counselor, it they see it as a like why are you going for therapy for? Like what do you have? That's what they think. But today, if a survivor didn't go to the therapy, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? A lot. Because as a survivor, you are battling, you're going through a battle that nobody knows but yourself. And God knows the battle that a survivor goes through is so heavy and chaotic and is so painful. Nobody reassured me, nobody telling me you are okay, nobody. And when I said to my mom, can I go and get it redone? Back then, before I had that health issue, she looked at me and said, there is no way in hell you will do that. And she started talking to me, what you get, what if you get married, your what, your husband is gonna do that, your purity, blah blah blah, because that is what is in their head. That's what they've been carried for generations. But this needs to end. And for us as a survivor, if we didn't talk, how this is gonna be end? And I'm talking to people as a survivor, because the emotions and the roller coaster that you go through as a survivor is, a lot of people, they take it for granted. They think it's like it's nothing. I knew people, they commit suicide. They went through FGM, they get into a deep depression because nobody helped them. Because the society that we are in right now, the culture, the community that we are in at the moment, nobody helping you. Everyone pushing you aside. It's like you're talking nonsense. They don't know what you are going through. The fact that 230 million girls went through it, and there is 65 million girls potentially that they're gonna undergo FGM, is insane. That is what is really going on. But yet nobody knows what the survivor really goes through. When they get the procedure done, is done. But from that moment until they grow and they become an adult and they get married, nobody knows the mental and physical battle that they go through. We have become so good that we put a mask, we put different hats, that it became part of our personality. So if you are a survivor today and you say, oh, you know You think that you have been putting so much mask, and it says become like a norm. No, it's not normal. Take that, take that mask off. Face your emotions, because as a survivor, I'm telling you, it is so hard to face your emotions. So hard. What you go through, to tell yourself and make yourself aware that what you're going through is trauma, is depression, is this, is that. It's not an easy, because we don't accept it. It is time to accept it. It is time to put an end and seek support. Nobody cares. Don't really care about other people. Only care about you as a survivor. Go and seek support. If you find a friend or you have a reliable friend, talk about it. Take it out, talk about it, because you can't carry that pain inside you for so long. It will come time that you will break down so hard that you wouldn't know what to do after that. Seek help, seek professional help, and talk about it. Talk about your feeling, talk about what you're going through, because that can really help. That can really help. And put yourself first. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself. I know it can be easy said than done, but as a survivor, at least you deserve that. You deserve that. The love, the self-compassion, the care, the help. Don't stay in that battle for so long. Don't. Because you are not alone. And as a survivor today, I'm telling you that what I went through, disappointment I went through, trauma I went through, so much. If I didn't seek help, I was gonna go crazy. I was gonna go crazy. I was gonna lose my mind. So why we reach to that point? We deserve to look after ourselves mentally and physically. I know what have happened to us is it's unforgettable, because you can't forget something horrible like that. But you can work on heal the emotions, the wound inside you, because you deserve that. You deserve that, and you are very valuable. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, because yourself deserves to be taken care. If you like the video, comment and subscribe.